Hello and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we're gonna do a very easy stitch, one row repeat. I think you can do many things with this, a scarf, a hat, a blouse if you like, or a vest, many things. Okay, I'm gonna work now with a 4.5mm crochet hook. We're gonna chain multiples of 3 plus 2 more. So I chain here 12 and I'm gonna chain 2 more. We're gonna skip the first chain and into the second chain from the hook. We're gonna go in there and do a single crochet. And this row is gonna be single crochet in each chain. So we go to the next chain, single crochet, and so on. It's a very easy stitch, one row repeat. Well, this one might eat some yarn, so be ready if you decide to work with this stitch to have enough to finish your project. Some of you can speed up the video, or some of you might have to slow down the speed of the video if I move too fast, especially for you guys, the beginners. So the last chain we're gonna do a single crochet. Okay, chain 1, turn your work, and now into the first stitch here we're gonna do a slip stitch, yarn over the hook, and in the same stitch we're gonna do 2 double crochets. So 1, and we're gonna go back for the second double crochet. We're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third stitch we're gonna repeat 1 slip stitch first, then 2 double crochets into that stitch. So let me pick this up. So 1 and then the second double crochet, and we're gonna repeat like this until we finish this row. We're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third we're gonna repeat slip stitch first, then 2 double crochets into the same stitch. It's not gonna be easy, the first double crochet, because you might get the other loop on your hook. And we're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third we're doing the same. Slip stitch first, then 2 double crochets into the same stitch. Yeah, like now it's a little bit, you have to be a little bit careful not to pass through that loop from the slip stitch. So now we're gonna be left with 3 stitches. We're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, and into the third, the last one, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna do a single crochet. So you go into the last stitch in there and do a single crochet. It's gonna look like this. Okay, I'm gonna chain 1, turn your work, and this is gonna be the row that you're gonna do until you're gonna repeat until you finish your work. So into the first stitch I'm gonna do a slip stitch first, then 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So 1 more double crochet, and now we're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, so 1, 2, and into the third stitch, which is the slip stitch from the previous row. Yeah, it's gonna be easy. It's between the stitch between the clusters, let's say. So this one here. So we're gonna skip 2, and into the third, the tiny one in there, we're gonna repeat slip stitch first, and then 2 double crochets into that same stitch. So we're gonna skip 2 stitches, and into the third you repeat and 2 more double crochets in there. Come on. Okay, 1 more. So we skip the next 2 and into the 3rd, slip stitch first and 2 double crochets in there. And it's gonna be a little bit bumpy, just an idea. 1 row it's gonna be kind of tucked in, it's on the other side you're gonna see the bump, but in here you're gonna see like that double crochet next to the when we do the slip stitch, that was gonna pop out. Yeah, gonna see this one. So now at the end we have 3 stitches left, 1, 2, and into the 3rd, which is the slip stitch from the previous row, we're gonna go in there and do a single crochet. You're always gonna finish with a single crochet. It's gonna look like this. So now you're gonna repeat. Chain 1, turn your work, and we repeat. I'm gonna do this row and then I'm gonna stop. So the first stitch is here, we're gonna repeat. Slip stitch first, and then 2 double crochets into that very first stitch. So 1, and so this is the double crochet that's gonna pop out, yeah, when you're gonna see the design, not the second one. So again, we're gonna skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the 3rd, the slip stitch from the previous row. We're gonna repeat. Slip stitch now, and then 2 double crochets. It's a very easy stitch, but working with double crochet might eat some yarn. So skip the next 2 and into the 3rd, right there between the clusters, let's say. Slip stitch and 2 double crochets. And you can do with variegated yarn, this working with this stitch, you can change colors. I think it's, you know, nice to change colors every 2 rows, 4 rows, depends. So you're gonna have the changing colors only one side. But if you want to do only 1 row with 1 color, and then you're gonna have to attach to this side. Yeah, you finish here, and then I think to keep it even numbers the rows when you have to change colors. So we're gonna skip the next 2 and into the 3rd. We're gonna repeat. So 1 more. So at the end we have 3 stitches here, 1, 2. So 1, 2, and the 3rd, which is the slip stitch from the previous row, we're gonna do 1 single crochet. And having this 1 single crochet at the end and the slip stitch in the beginning, the sides will be somewhat straight. So you're gonna chain 1 and you're gonna repeat. It's gonna look like this. So you're gonna have this double crochet next to the slip stitch, a little bit popping out. Well, if you like this this stitch, give it a try. I think for a blanket, for a scarf, infinity scarf, if you want, just keep in mind this multiples of 3 plus 2 more. So we skip 1. And okay, when you finish, let's say, you finish and you want to close the, keep forgetting most of my tutorials to show you how to do the top. So after you do the single crochet, you chain 1, turn your work, and then you're gonna do single crochet into the first stitch, and you're gonna do single crochets into the next stitch. You're gonna do single crochets in each stitch. Don't forget the slip stitch from the previous row. Gonna do a single crochet in there too. So next stitch, single crochet, next stitch, single crochet, and we have this tiny one in between here, the slip stitch. Gonna do a single crochet also in there. So the next stitch, single crochet, and so on. So easy. so this the slip stitch here. So we're gonna go into that, and we're gonna do single crochet, single crochet, the next stitch, single crochet, and don't forget the slip stitch here, in which you're gonna go in there, and you're gonna do a single crochet. You're gonna chain one, cut your yarn, and you finished. Because we started with a single crochet, especially for a scarf, it's best to finish the same. You attach the tassels, fringes, or if you do a blanket, at least the top and the bottom you're gonna have the stitches right here. But when you do the bottom, when you chain you cast the chains, work on the back of the chain into the bump, and then you're gonna have the stitches right like that. Yeah, it's gonna be easy to, if you attach a border, to depends the style or the stitch that you're gonna use for a border, you'll know exactly where to poke. So this is the stitch. Well, I hope you enjoy. Give it a try, you might like it. Thank you for watching.